Okay, so in Bitcoin, we have reached a support level trend line, third touch of a trend line, which you very often bounce from. We've reached an ABC measured move, low time frame. This is a daily chart of Bitcoin, where this swing high to low, this swing we've just made is 61.8 of the first one. So that's a very common support level. But Bitcoin also in this correction has been very good at 886 fib pullback. So for example here, I'm going to do the big swing at the start, and for the pullback we did a really steep pullback to the 886 fib, and that's where we found some support. If we do the next swing here, which was this bounce here, where we made a lower high, that where we bounced from was the 886 fib, see? And that's where we bounced 50% back again. So here we are again, smaller time frame, I know, but we'll go back to this swing. Okay, and this is the 886 fib again. We didn't tag it before, look, at the beginning of September, but now we have tagged it. So this is just a repeating pattern that we could from here bounce from this 886 fib correction. If you bounce from an 886 fib correction, then you usually bounce back to the 50%. So if we bounce back to the 50% here in Bitcoin, potentially we could bounce back to 66.50, which was the 66.50 level that we were looking for to break above this week, you know, which on the 4 hour, remember we were watching this 66.50 here, highs, and we were looking for a break above it all week anyway. So yes, I do think that there's good potential. We're in a sideways range. We've got flat sideways moving averages, and this combination of three supports, the 886 fib retrace level, the measured move support, and the trend line support, say to me that there is potential for Bitcoin to bounce here back to 66.50. We're playing really small ball, remember, in this sideways range in Bitcoin. So how do I look for reversals to trade? You know, I look for the 5 minute. I look for us to move, move the moving averages. We might today, especially at the US Open, we might retest the lows. We might retest the lows in stocks. It might cause a bit of nervousness in crypto that we do the same. But this is a really good support level. So I would, at this point, if you're long and wrong and you didn't like that at all, look for a rally to 66.50 and see what happens there. If you're looking for a reason to get short or a place to sell Bitcoin, then I think any close below 6,000 that then retests. So let's go back to an hourly chart. Any close below 6,000 that then retests and gets resistance from underneath would be your sell entry. At the moment, this is very good support, and I would not bet against it. I think that the moves are overdone, but what would trigger this? If we see continued sharp selling in stock, this did affect, if it doesn't affect crypto in the day, it will do in Asian trading. This is what we saw, and so that's what we need to watch out for. But yes, so far, pretty good level for Bitcoin US dollar to bounce from. Have we got a pretty good level for Ethereum to bounce from? Well, so far, let's get rid of some of these trend lines. So far, you know, we've made an ABC correction. We're at the 618 support. If we bounce from here with Bitcoin, then we'll bounce back, bounces from a 618 are within the golden ratio zone. We'll bounce back to the 382 fib. Let me put these levels on the right and see. So round number 200, that is kind of one of those round numbers. F loves round numbers. Round number 200, if we bounce from here, we should bounce back to at least 221.50, and we might go back to the 236 fib, back to these prior highs at 234, but 221 for sure if we can bounce from here. The one thing that might stop us is have we really made, yeah, we're at the 618 here as well. So if we don't, and we keep moving lower, then the equal measured move correction for ETH is here at 182. But so now that's the daily look at ETH. Let's see on our 5 minute if we're making some kind of bottoming pattern here. Here's our 618 level. It's not compelling yet, is it? But I'm watching it. So potentially support at 200, otherwise 182 in ETH dollar. Let's talk about Ripple, because Ripple, you know, if we had been drawing up Ripple and saying, you know, where would we like it to come back to buy it, this is right here where we would. Why is this? This is Ripple dollar Bitfinex chart. First off, we've pulled back to the daily 50 moving average. In this most recent rally in Ripple, we rallied to 50% of the drop from the April high to the August low. 50% is where we got stuck, couldn't close above, and kind of double topped. When you get a mean reverting market, by that I mean 50%, 50%. When you get a mean reverting market like this, you're always looking for a 50% pullback going the other way. So in Ripple, that's what we got. From this low to high, we have now stopped at, sorry. Okay, let me draw this, let me do that again, because when I do it the other way, when you do 50%, right, then rather than drawing it, I usually leave it like this. So that's the level we close at. If I count the spike, this doesn't work. But 50% going the other way is actually not 236, but 0.25. So this would normally, in a normal market without this horrid Ripple spike, be the level we would be looking at for support. The back test of this 236 fib level and the daily 50 moving average. It's not 50% going the other way. Sometimes it doesn't work like that because of the spike. If we count this as if we do it the other way and we go from the low to the 50% level, then we're here around this 50% anyway. So back test of this 236 fib, back test of the daily 50 moving average. Potentially this is support here for Ripple as well. So this is another one where on the lower time frames, I'm going to be watching to see if we can flip our moving averages on the 5 or 15 minute and get a buy set up here. And that's around 0.41 in Ripple, 0.41, 0.2 in this zone. I'm looking for a bullish reversal. We don't have the price action yet. We've literally kind of just hit these levels. At the moment, even on a 15 minute, we're still being held down by these moving averages. But I think if stocks, as long as stocks can stabilize here today, then there's quite a good chance that Ripple could do the same. If we look at Ripple Bitcoin, have we got a similar setup? Let's see. Ripple, if you're trading it in Bitcoin. Now this one, let's see where we are in terms of Fibonacci retracement. No, okay. So from if we take the most recent swing lower, no. So we don't actually have support in Ripple Bitcoin. That's fine. Normally, that does mean that probably in this bounce, Bitcoin is going to outperform Ripple. And we've got a little bit further to fall. If we measure the moves or look for equal measured swings in this one, our first support then for Ripple Bitcoin comes in at 68.34. And that's where the daily 50 moving average is as well. So against Bitcoin, it looks like in Ripple, we have a little bit further to fall, so we're not quite ready to turn yet. So that would make me now, if we go back to Ripple US dollar, be a bit cautious that I see a really good signal and a hold of this support. So expect for the little bit of short term Bitcoin to outperform, but then this support to hold for Ripple and Ripple to follow it up higher. So first sign I think therefore is going to be Bitcoin stabilizing and going up.